When LaTisha Scott turned 45, she didn't throw a lavish party or post glamorous pictures surrounded by friends. Instead, she did something that nobody expected. She went live on Instagram not to promote a new business or celebrate another milestone, but to speak her truth. Her voice trembled at first, her hands shook slightly, but her eyes told a story that words could barely hold. After years of silence, denial, and trying to keep her marriage intact for the world to see, LaTisha finally broke. And what she revealed that night changed everything. The world knew LaTisha as the calm one, the loyal wife who stood beside her husband Marsau through every rumor, every accusation, and every uncomfortable moment on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. But this time was different. There was no polished tone, no smile to hide the pain. She had reached her breaking point, and she wasn't protecting anyone anymore. The secret she was about to share didn't just shake her marriage, it shattered the illusion of the perfect life she had worked so hard to portray. As the camera light reflected in her eyes, she took a deep breath and said the words that sent shockwaves through social media: "I've been quiet for too long. But it's time y'all know the truth about Marsau and Sunni." Before that night, LaTisha's life had always been about balance. She tried to balance business and motherhood, fame and privacy, loyalty and self-respect. On Love and Marriage, Huntsville, she was often painted as the devoted wife, sometimes naive, sometimes too trusting, but always determined to make her marriage work. She built her brand around family and success, believing that faith, love, and perseverance could hold anything together. But behind closed doors, that balance was crumbling. People whispered for years about Marsau's alleged flings, his late-night business meetings, and his suspicious friendships with women who seemed just a little too close for comfort. LaTisha defended him every single time. She'd sit on reunion couches, hold back tears, and insist that her husband was faithful. Her loyalty became her shield but also her prison. Then came Sunni. At first, Sunni wasn't seen as a threat. She was charming, beautiful, and often around the Scotts' inner circle. She supported their business ventures, showed up to events, and was always smiling in photos beside LaTisha like a sister. Their bond looked genuine. But what nobody saw was the quiet tension building behind those smiles, the subtle glances, and the late-night messages that didn't add up. Over time, rumors started swirling that Sunni's friendship with Marsau might not be as innocent as it appeared. There were whispers in Huntsville, side-eye looks at events, and even anonymous messages warning LaTisha to watch her circle. But she ignored it. She believed in protecting her home and her image because once the world starts doubting your marriage on national TV, every move becomes ammunition. Still, deep down, she felt it. The shift. The way Marsau's attention drifted, how he became distant, always busy, always tired. She'd ask simple questions and he'd respond with sarcasm, humor, or silence. For years, she swallowed her doubts, convinced herself that rumors were just noise created by jealous people who wanted to see her fall. But lies have a way of waiting patiently. And when they come out, they don't just ruin trust, they destroy peace. The breaking point came quietly. It wasn't one explosive moment, but a series of small betrayals that finally piled too high. LaTisha found a message. It wasn't explicit, but it was personal enough to make her stomach drop. It was from Sunni and it wasn't business. The words were casual but intimate, the kind of familiarity that crossed a line. When she confronted Marsau, he brushed it off, laughing it away like it was nothing. "You're reading too much into it," he said. "She's just a friend." But the seed of doubt had already taken root. What nobody knew was that LaTisha kept quiet not because she was weak, but because she was planning. She wanted clarity before chaos. For months, she gathered small pieces, screenshots, receipts, phone logs. She wasn't out for revenge, she just wanted truth. But every time she tried to bring it up, Marsau would twist the conversation, turning her concerns into accusations about her insecurity. That emotional manipulation wore her down. Until one day, she decided enough was enough. By 45, she had grown tired of protecting everyone but herself. Her birthday became symbolic, a new chapter, a turning point. The woman who once smiled through pain was gone. That night, she went live, raw and unfiltered, with thousands of viewers watching as she unfolded a truth that had been hidden for years. At first, she spoke slowly, choosing her words carefully. She talked about loyalty, betrayal, and how silence can destroy a person from the inside out. Then she dropped the name Sunni. The comments section exploded instantly. Viewers flooded the chat with disbelief, questions, and emojis of shock. LaTisha continued, her voice shaking but steady, "You know what hurts the most? It wasn't a stranger. It was someone I called my sister." She described how Sunni had been in her home, around her children, at her events. How she trusted her with private family moments, all while something unthinkable was happening behind her back. "I used to defend her when people tried to warn me," LaTisha said, tears glistening. "I told them y'all just didn't understand her heart. But now I see, I was defending the person who hurt me the most." The emotion in her voice was raw. You could feel years of pain breaking free. The strong, composed woman fans had watched for so long was letting the world see her real heart bruised, tired, and done pretending. What she revealed next took the situation from rumor to reality. She said she'd found evidence, not gossip, not speculation, but proof. Late-night messages, private photos, and a timeline that didn't lie. "I stayed silent because I thought it would go away," she said. But secrets only grow in silence. Social media exploded within minutes. The live was screen-recorded and reposted on every gossip blog imaginable. Fans of love and marriage, Huntsville, were in shock. Some supported LaTisha, calling her brave. Others accused her of exaggerating for attention. But no matter what side people took, one thing was undeniable: this was real emotion, not a storyline. Marsau stayed silent at first. No posts, no comments, no statements. His usual humor was gone. But when he finally did respond, it only made things worse. He posted a cryptic quote about forgiveness and misunderstanding. People saw it as a deflection, another way to dodge accountability. And Sunni? She disappeared from social media completely. Her pages went private. No posts, no explanations, just silence. But silence can be its own confession. Behind the scenes, friends said Marsau and LaTisha weren't even living under the same roof. The tension had reached a boiling point. Every interview request was declined, every business meeting cancelled. The image of the Scott family empire, once built on unity and hard work, now stood on shaky ground. But here's the twist: while fans were watching the scandal unfold online, insiders say this confrontation was building long before the live stream. For years, LaTisha had been holding back out of fear of losing everything she'd built, fear of being judged, fear of being labeled as another reality TV wife with a cheating husband. But when she turned 45, she realized something powerful. The peace she was trying to protect no longer existed. The love she fought to save had already died the moment trust was broken. The aftermath was brutal. The internet can be cruel, and public heartbreak becomes entertainment in seconds. Comment sections filled with speculation, memes, and armchair detectives trying to piece together timelines. Old clips from the show resurfaced, fans revisiting moments that suddenly made sense. They noticed the tension between Sunni and Marsau, the awkward silences, the subtle looks that everyone had missed before. Suddenly, it all fit like pieces of a painful puzzle. But while the internet debated, LaTisha focused on something deeper, reclaiming herself. The woman who once defined her worth by her marriage began learning how to stand alone. She stopped smiling for cameras that demanded perfection and started showing the world her scars instead. She launched new projects, but this time, it wasn't about proving she had it all together. It was about healing publicly and honestly. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was realizing how much of her identity she had tied to a man who didn't value her loyalty. She'd spent years defending someone who wouldn't do the same for her. That realization broke her, but it also set her free. In one emotional post months later, she wrote, "I've learned that love without respect is just pain with pretty words. I'm not angry anymore. I'm just done being silent." That post went viral. Fans flooded her comments with messages of love and support, calling her strength inspiring. Even some of her critics admitted they saw a new side of LaTisha, one that was no longer trying to impress anyone, but simply trying to survive. Marsau's silence became deafening. He showed up on camera again eventually, but something had changed. The confidence was replaced with caution. The laughter didn't reach his eyes. When asked about the allegations, he brushed them off with phrases like, "We're working through things privately." But the world already knew some wounds don't heal in private when they were caused in public. Sunni never returned to the public eye. She faded quietly, her name now tied to one of Huntsville's most infamous scandals. But for LaTisha, that night on Instagram wasn't just about exposing them, it was about reclaiming her voice after years of silence. The emotional impact of that revelation went far beyond gossip. It became a moment of reflection for countless women who'd been loyal to the wrong people for too long. Messages poured in from fans who said they saw themselves in her story, women who had smiled through pain, defended betrayal, and chosen silence to keep peace. LaTisha's vulnerability turned into strength not just for herself, but for others who needed to hear that they weren't alone. Turning 45 didn't break her, it transformed her. She finally accepted that loving yourself sometimes means walking away from what's familiar, even if it hurts. And though the world saw the scandal, what they didn't see was the quiet strength it took for her to hit go live and finally tell her truth. When the cameras fade and social media moves on, reality stars are still human. They still bleed, cry, and rebuild behind closed doors. For LaTisha, this chapter isn't about revenge, it's about rebirth. The woman who once defined herself as a wife and business partner is now learning who she is without those titles. And maybe that's the real power in her story. She said it best near the end of that live stream, when her tears finally stopped and her tone turned calm. "I used to think protecting someone's image was love. But now I know real love doesn't make you hide in the dark. Real love doesn't silence your pain. I'm done pretending." That moment hit everyone watching. Because it wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a woman finally freeing herself from years of secrets. And that's how a quiet birthday at 45 became the day LaTisha Scott changed her story forever. She walked through betrayal, humiliation, and heartbreak, but she came out with something far more powerful than a perfect image. She came out with truth. And in a world obsessed with appearances, truth is the one thing that can't be faked.